What's up, guys? Welcome back. So I'm getting a lot of questions in the YouTube chat asking, how do you get cardio like Merab? How do you get cardio like Merab? It's easy. It's actually not. A lot of it comes down to hard work. 90% of fighters, I'll put it at 80% of fighters only train when they have a fight. They're not training all year round. They're not pushing extra workouts. They're not going the extra mile. They're not doing anything extra after regular practices unless there's a fight booked, unless they have a contract signed, unless they have a date. When you get to the upper level, a lot of guys, you get lazy. You forget when you were younger, how bad you wanted it, right? I want to get to the UFC. I want to be a world champion. I wanted this, I want that. Then you get there, and you get a little bit satisfied. I think when you look at a guy like Merab, I was just in Azerbaijan with him. I'm on the treadmill because I'm working all year round no matter what. And I see this guy come in there and he's working sparring, he's working striking, drilling. And he just fought a couple weeks ago. He was just coming from Georgia on vacation. And I was like, bro, you're getting work in? He's like, yeah, man, I hate doing vacations because it messes up my training. He's always pushing it. Even after he won the title, DC went to his house to interview him and the guy's jogging, he went for a run. I think that mentality is what separates the guys with good cardio and the guys with bad cardio. Keys to cardio, they're not coming from a specific trainer or a specific exercise routine or weight routine. It literally just comes down to pushing yourself to your uncomfortable limits. A lot of the times when I'm training or I'm practicing, you have a hard wrestling practice or a hard striking practice. At the end of that practice, go the extra mile. All right, I'm gonna jog 2 miles, or I'm gonna do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. When your body's tired, when you're telling yourself, all right, that was enough. When you go past that was enough point, that's where the cardio really comes from. That's where the mentality comes from, especially in a fight where both sides are training, right? Both sides are training kickboxing, boxing, dieting. A lot of the time it goes down to heart. Who's willing to go that extra mile when it gets in a cage, when it gets dirty, when it gets bloody in there, and your first game plan didn't work? You have to keep pushing. A lot of the times, many of those guys that don't go the extra mile will break. They will get tired in there, they will fold in there. They'll look for a way out. Guys like Merab, they don't. And I think another key to his cardio is just being comfortable in the cage. You see him smiling, he loves it. But that comes from just doing it every day. When people ask me, how's your sparring? We're sparring multiple times a week or doing striking drills multiple times a week, but it's 60%. It's getting to the point of barely touching each other, but having the movements down, having the feints down, having the fluidity down, and we're not hurting each other. You gotta have the perfect training partner for that. So when it gets to cage time and you are picking it up a little bit more, you've been in those situations. You've been scrambling in the room. You've been wrestling in the room. You've been striking in the room 24/7. So when you get in the cage, it's not that nervousness as when it was my first amateur fight, and you're scared because regardless, you're gonna have those nerves, and then you get in there and your body tenses up. Merab is never tense in the cage. He's always relaxed. He's always having fun. When you're smiling in a cage, you're having fun, it just makes your whole body calm. And when your body's calm, your heart rate's calm. When your heart rate's calm, your cardio's calm. And obviously, he's born with that, not an extra lung, right? But just that push, that mentality of, I gotta keep working. I gotta work. I always gotta do better. I always gotta work harder. I'm still a step behind. 90% of the guys now that are born with that natural talent, they don't wanna go the extra mile. They don't wanna do the cardio, the jogging, the weightlifting, the dieting. And that all plays a huge factor into it. You can't take a day off in this. There is no off season in fighting. You fight once or twice or 3 times a year, and every win matters. Every loss takes you a step back. So you gotta treat your body like a machine. You gotta treat your body like a car. Put the great fuel in there. You gotta make sure all parts of you are to the best. Because regardless, in a fight, you could be in the best shape ever and you can go in there and get knocked out. But you gotta make sure you're doing all the right things. You gotta outwork your self-doubt. When I step into the cage, the biggest fear of any fighter is to be tired in there, to gas out. But I know I push harder than anybody else outside of the cage. I know I left no stone unturned, so I won't get tired in there. And that gives you that sense of confidence in there. That gives you that sense of relief before even entering it, because you know I could go push that pace harder than the next guy. And if I'm tired, I know he's gonna be way more tired because he didn't work like me. All these little things are gonna help you with your cardio. All these little things are gonna help you get better with it. Controlling your breathing. That only comes from just being comfortable. And I'm gonna be comfortable because I trained countless hours of it. So, younger fighters out there, stay in the gym. You don't need to go 100% every day, go 50% every day, but train every day. Work on stuff to get better, to grow. And then when you step in the cage, have the confidence that you didn't take no days off, that you didn't take no steps backward. Every practice should have a purpose. Every practice should have a reason for what you're doing in the practice room and a reason to get better and grow, because the sport is still young. And the next GOAT could be 20 years old right now. Appreciate you guys. Keep putting your comments, questions in the comments. Keep telling your friends about it. See you at the next card.